What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thanks for clicking on today's video. This is actually take 2 because I just filmed this entire video start to finish and forgot to turn on the old microphone. So I love that for me. We get to do this again. And I was on a roll too, so I hope I remember everything I said in the last video that, you all can hear it this time too. So bear with me. I'm a little flustered, but it's like, darn it. But the show must go on. But with that said, this is a week 256 update of my weight loss journey, or my journey that I am trying my best to overcome obesity and rewind my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight, living a keto, high protein, low carb lifestyle, and truly making those lifestyle changes. We're not just slapping lipstick on a pig here. We're truly making changes. To this week's video, I was reflecting on, what I would talk about today. But before I jump into that, this is Tuesday. I normally post on Mondays, but my kids were out of school and Texas is cold. There's a polar vortex going on, and we had a little bit of dusting of snow, and so it was a snow day. It was just a fun day, and we were outside enjoying 10 degrees, which to these Texans, that's too cold. Like, I'm gonna have to move south. 10 degrees is not what I want. But anyways, it was fun. We spent the day with the neighbors, and we built as many snowmans as we could with the snow that we had, and just had a good old time. So that's why I was not here yesterday. It was way easier to live in the moment, enjoy, and be happy, and spend that time with my kids than it was to make this video. It is what it is. But along those lines, it kind of hit me what I want to talk about this week. And that's simply, why am I so much happier since October? Like, why is my mood so different? Why are things changing? Why is my body changing? Why is why is it easy to stick to this lifestyle? Like, all these questions have been like bubbling around in my head because like I said, I'm approaching 5 years on YouTube with this weight loss journey. I started on February 11th, 2019, and we are approaching the 5-year mark. And it's like, holy moly, how did that happen so fast? I'm not at my goal weight. Like, all these thoughts, right? But there's one thing that really stuck out to me in these nearly 5 years is the time's gonna pass anyways. Why not try to figure it out and find out your own blueprint for your own success? Why not try all the things? Why not fall flat in your face and pick yourself up and build yourself stronger? Like, why, it's just all these pieces are fitting into the puzzle. And had I given up, it would have never happened. Like, I would have been stuck at 309 pounds. Granted, I did lose 140 pounds or something. I forget what it was. I was within 1 pound of my goal weight. And I lost all that weight real fast. It felt like it was a miracle at the time, but I didn't do things 100% that worked for me. Like, I did a lot of things that, worked for other people, or, made sense, or it was trendy at the time, or, it was extreme, or, I was so desperate I'd do anything. Like, a lot of other stuff came into play at that original weight loss momentum. But as I learned I didn't fix all the problems, weight came back on, old habits slowly started getting back in, excuses got more lenient, and here I was on the roller coaster. So here I am, all this time later, and still not at my goal weight. But as of October, a couple months ago, like 3.5 months ago, when I started the 75 soft, it really hit me that I had to do it for me this time. I had to truly make a change that really explained weight loss for me. I couldn't do all the things that worked for everybody else because they worked for everybody else, and it's a unique journey. Like, what works, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, right? So I had tried all the things, I'd experienced all the things, and I picked out what I liked through all those experiences. And I knew, because I'd fallen flat in my face so many other times, I knew what not to do here, here, and here. And here you have it. You put together this perfect storm of a lifestyle change that truly meant something to me. It was unique to me, and it's something I wanted to do, and it's something I could stick to. And the weird thing about the whole situation is it's not hard. But going through all of those phases, knocking off, all the stuff that didn't work for me, all the stuff that did work for me, and then coming up with this this blueprint for my success, it just fell into place, and I was all of a sudden happier. And it might not make sense because it's hard to get those words out, but I am doing this for me. Like, I am eating what I want to eat. I am doing what I want to eat. I'm reading books instead of watching the news. You know, I'm drinking water instead of crap. I'm limiting alcohol because I make bad decisions when I drink alcohol. Like, I'm doing all these things for my happiness. And I'm believing in me for the first time. And knowing that I can lose weight. I've done it a million times in this channel. I've lost probably 500 pounds by now on this channel. Not really, but you know, if you think about all the yo-yos over the years, you know, like I probably lost another 100. So at the end of the day, making a long story short is I literally cherry picked all the things that I wanted to do, and I did them. And I did them for me, and I didn't care what anybody thought. I took the control back, and it's just been fun. Like, I am happy, and it's like I'm actually waking up and choosing to do the things I set out to do because I wanted to do them. You know, like I'm not stressing myself out doing high intensity interval training, the things that makes me crazy. Like, I'm not running all these miles. I'm lifting weights because it makes me feel good. And I'm lifting them every day because I want that feeling every day. You know, I'm eating all the things I know I should be eating, not the things I have to eat. You know, like I am just doing everything that makes sense for me. And lo and behold, bam, everything is like just falling into place. So it's interesting that it could be that simple, but it's so hard to share that as a, you know, an inspiration for you because it's what's working for me. You know, like I don't want to go run 50 miles a week. You know, I don't, you know, but I do want to lift weights and I do want to get stronger. And so that makes that something I want to do. So it makes sense why I can do it. You know, if I had to get myself up at 5 a.m. and go run 18 miles, you know, like, it would just not be something I could stick to. And that's not a lifestyle change, and that doesn't solve my problems, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm doing what I want to do because it feels good for me. It's working for me. I can actually stick to it, and it's growing this little bit of a snowball effect. And it's like for the first time in so long, I'm happy again, and I believe in myself. And that's the thing. When, you know, just as an example, you know, in the past, my husband's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and I'd be like, "You're a liar." You're like, "Oh no, I'm not." You know, like all the stuff that was like the no from me, right? And he'd be like annoyed with me because like, "No, you are." You're like, "I'm not a liar. Like, you are beautiful." And so it's this feeling that, you know, I have to feel it for myself. Like, he could tell me until the cows come home that I'm beautiful, but until I feel it, it's not, I'm like, my word's final, you know? So I had to work on my feeling on the inside and did what I wanted to do. So I feel it, I believe it. And all this inner work, you know, like self-reflection. And, you know, and at this point, I made it a point now when my husband says I'm beautiful, if I'm not feeling it in that minute, I'll just smile and say thank you instead of just denying it and like arguing it, you know, and that kind of thing, because he's, you know, like that's his thought. And I made it a point to just stop, you know, denying it and doing all that self-sabotage and be like, you know what? Thank you. I'm feeling beautiful today. You know, like that kind of thing. Just changing that whole, you know, narrative in my head, you know, like believing it, you know, like feeling it and putting that inner work in. So, unfortunately, you know, it seems like it could be so easy and such a simple fix, but it has been the hardest thing I've done. But it's been rewarding work to change the narrative, to change my story, to hold the pen with my own hand and make this story, you know, and make this me. And write my own book instead of letting someone else write all my chapters for me, right? So here's another thing. When I have a meme that's been in my phone since I first started my journey. I'll put it on the screen here, but it won't happen overnight. But if you give up, it won't happen at all. And if I can drive that point home, I have been doing this, like I said, nearly 5 years. I'm not at my goal weight, but I'm definitely, you know, I got 58 pounds to go until I get there. But it's like, if I would have given up, it would have never happened. You know, like, I have lost weight. I've maintained at least half of the weight I've lost. And I'm working on that last 58 pounds to re-lose it. But if I had given up, I could have easily snowballed right back up and maybe more than 309 pounds because of my horrible, unhealthy habits I had before. Or I could have stayed the course and kept trying and keep, just, even if I hit in a wall, I found a way around it. Hit another wall, found a way around, instead of just giving up. And that's the point I want to drive home, because it's so easy to give up and say, oh, I can't, I'll just be fat forever. Or, poor me, I've got this is wrong with me, so I can't do that, or whatever the excuse may be. If you give up, it never happens. But if you keep trying, it will. It just won't happen overnight, and as long as you don't give up, you have a chance, and you can get there. So for the first time in since October, I've been feeling this way. Once I got the new habits that I stick to every day, where I'm drinking my water, I'm getting my workout in, I'm reading instead of scrolling on social media, I'm spending time with friends, like all the things that we used to do back in the day before all the screens got in front of our faces and told us how ugly we were, and then we started believing that, or put those expectations out there that are so unrealistic, so I took all that away. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so much better. And it's like I'm living again, because living is for the brave. If you are brave, you will live. And you just want to live your life through a screen, or, that's such a slippery slope. So I don't know if that makes sense at all, but it really has made a difference in me, so put the screen down, go back to living, because living is for the brave. And that, open yourself up to being vulnerable again, make new friends, go out, go do something, get up, get up. At the end of the day, that means getting up off the couch and going to work out. Great. Getting up means dusting yourself off and trying again. It doesn't matter. Get up. Now's the time. So, and that's where where I feel so different this time around, because it's like it feels so good, and I want to make this so much more easier to understand so that everybody can feel this way. But it's a double-edged sword, because it's only going to work for me, but I can give you all the tips that I'm doing, but at the end of the day, it's like you got to find all these answers for you. You have got to live how you want to live, and that means if you want to eat this type of a lifestyle, go do it, because then you can stick to it. Don't do this lifestyle because everybody else is doing it and it worked for them. That's great, bless them, but if it's not going to work for you, you're wasting your time. So you've got to do what you want to do. So, and that's why I like eating high protein and low carb and keto, but that works for me. Doesn't mean it works for everybody else, and I like to move my body every day and get that stress out, basically burn off the crazy, all that stress, all those emotions, instead of eating my emotions, So it's like, you just got to find out what works for you, write that all down and do it. And that makes a true lifestyle change, because if you keep doing more of the same, you're just going to still stay in that rut, and you're going to be miserable. And I was miserable for so long that I don't want that. I know how it feels to be that miserable every day. But I also know how good it feels to get it together and to start believing in yourself again, start loving yourself again, and start trying and just build those little goals every day. And here you go, my pants are falling off of me now, and it's been a couple of weeks, but it's like, oh man, what a great feeling it is, because the scale's going down for once, and it's staying down. It has not gone up in a long time. And it's like, hallelujah, But like I said, if I would have given up, it would not happen at all. But if I chip away at it every single day and show up, and whether it be just a little showing up or a lot showing up every day is all I need, and I will get there, and I have that confidence again. So at the end of the day, you got to do you. You got to love it. You got to embrace it. You've got to own it. And then you got to use that blueprint for your own success. So I am going to head down into my gym, because it's time to work out. It's that time of day for me. And I'm going to go get my workout in and make some dinner. And then I'll see you guys at the next one. I'm Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind. Bye-bye.
Too many days in the darkness, without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. surrender, darling. You were meant to survive.